There are days you say nothing, yet your silence screams louder than any cry for help. You walk through life with a composed face, but inside there's a storm ripping you apart. This isn't just anxiety, it's not just overthinking. This is warfare, and the battlefield is your mind. Hey, Stoic friends, welcome back. This message isn't for those pretending to be okay. It's for those who are done pretending. For those who've been dragged to the edge by thoughts they never asked for. Tired of carrying emotional chains disguised as armor. You still laugh when expected. Nod when appropriate. Pretend to be fine. But deep inside, you're falling apart. Your mind drags you through memories like knives. It plays shame like a looped soundtrack. It replays every failure, betrayal, a missed chance like a film you can't shut off. Worse, you started believing it, that you're not enough, that you're too late, that you'll never get out. You wake up exhausted, sit in silence while your thoughts scream. They whisper that your best days are over, that you've failed too much, and the more you resist, the deeper you sink. This isn't just overthinking. This is mental warfare, but the world doesn't see it. They see the mask. They see you functioning. They don't see the 3 a.m. battles, the voice that calls you a burden, a failure, a ghost. You've smiled through breakdowns, held yourself together with invisible thread, stood strong while falling apart. But this video, this is war medicine, mental armor, a battle cry for those ready to stop being a prisoner in their own mind. We're not waiting for peace. We're hunting it. We're not dodging the storm. We're ripping through it. Eyes open, jaw clenched. By the end, that voice in your head, the one chaining you, will be exposed. You'll see it was never truth, just fear in your voice. So don't blink, don't skip, don't scroll away. Like, comment, subscribe, and drop this in the comments. I will no longer be a prisoner of my own mind. Let's break the chains, burn the lies, and rebuild from the bones up, not as a victim, but as a force. Let's begin. Truth number 1, your mind is not a mirror, it's a weapon. At the end of the last section we said, your mind isn't a mirror, it's a weapon. And if you don't learn to wield it, it will turn on you. Your mind isn't just reflecting life. It's a distorted lens, bending the truth until illusions feel real. You start believing you're weak. You think you're stuck. You feel like something inside you is broken. But none of it is real. It's not truth. It's a trap. And your own mind built it. You think the enemy is out there. You think the world is holding you back. Wake up. The fiercest war is happening inside your skull. Behind your eyes is a battlefield. And if you're not armed, you're already bleeding. How many times have you created disasters in your mind that never happened? How many times have you crushed yourself before the world had the chance? How many dreams have you buried? Not because of others, but because a quiet voice whispered, "You're not ready." That voice doesn't scream, it slithers, it crawls into your chest at 3 a.m., feeding on your doubt like it owns the place. And the worst part? You believed it. You gave your mind the blade and told it where to cut. That's not doubt. That's mental betrayal. Your thoughts aren't harmless, they're loaded. Every negative loop is a bullet in a gun pointed at your future. And while you walk around smiling, pretending, performing, your thoughts are tearing holes in your identity, your confidence, your destiny. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So what are you staining your soul with? Fear? Regret? Bitterness? Jealousy? Look around. Your reality is being painted by the colors in your head. Want to change your life? Burn the palette, take your mind and forge it in fire. No more soft reflection, no more passive survival. What you need is weaponized clarity, surgical focus, cold, calm control. That's what Stoicism builds, not comfort, but control. So the next time your thoughts whisper, "You're behind," say, "I'm preparing." When they say, "You're not enough," say, "I haven't even started." Don't argue with lies, overwrite them with purpose, with discipline, with force, the kind of force that rips fear from your voice and rebuilds it with fire in your chest and steel in your spine. Don't beg your mind to help you. Grab it by the throat and drag it into discipline, because this world doesn't care if you're stuck. Life keeps swinging, and if your mind keeps echoing pain instead of slicing through it, you'll drown in your own thoughts. But if you train it day by day, hour by hour, you'll stop reacting to life and start commanding it. You'll stop begging for kind thoughts and start making your thoughts kneel. This isn't fantasy, this is warfare, and you are the weaponsmith. Drop this in the comments if it hits your chest. My mind is my weapon. I will train it, not fear it. And don't just say it, bleed it. Because once your mind obeys, the world follows. Next up, habit number 2. Emotional pain isn't proof, it's a message. In the last section, we said, if you don't take control of your mind, it will turn on you. Now, we shift focus to another form of battle, emotional pain, not to run from it, but to listen to what it's trying to say. You think heartbreak is karma. No, that's your heart handing you a blueprint. Pain is the architect of transformation. It's a brutal, direct, merciless teacher. But if you listen, really listen, it shows you exactly where the decay lives. But instead of learning from it, you lie. You tell yourself you're fine. You tell your friends you've moved on, but your hands still tremble when her name pops up. Your voice still shakes when you talk about that dream you gave up. And your silence? It screams louder than anything. Marcus Aurelius didn't write about pain like a philosopher sipping wine under the stars. He wrote from the front lines, from the trenches. He said, pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke. What does that mean? It means you hold the blade. You decide, will this pain slice you apart or sharpen you into something lethal? But most people don't fight back. They let pain define them. They become the echo of what broke them. They marry heartbreak. They wear rejection like a name tag. And eventually, they don't live as themselves. They live as the scar. But if you've got even a single ember of fire left in you, you don't let pain speak for you. You stare it in the eye. You rip the message from its throat. What is this agony trying to teach you? What truth have you been avoiding? What identity have you outgrown? Because that's the code buried inside the suffering. There's an old version of you that's already dead. And the only reason it still hurts is because you're dragging the corpse. Let it burn. Feel the fire through your bones. Let it bring you to your knees. But don't stay. There, get back up. Eyes bloodshot, hands shaking, heart open, and say, thanks for the lesson. Now get the hell out of my way. You are not your damage. You're not the one who got left behind. Not the failure. Not the almost, not the forgotten. You are the fire that survived it all, and that That makes you dangerous. Drop this in the comments if you've ever clawed your way out of emotional hell. My pain didn't break me, it built me. And if your heart still aches, good. That means it's still working. It means you've still got something left to fight for. Next up, habit number 3. Kill the inner narrator that keeps you small. Previously, we exposed the inner voice, the self-sabotaging narrator. But recognition isn't enough. Now it's time to kill it. Burn that version, tear it apart, drag it into the daylight and choke it with truth. Marcus Aurelius didn't conquer empires or endure war by believing the first thought that entered his head. He wrote again and again, not because he was weak, but because he knew how brutal the inner war could be. He understood. Your soul becomes dyed with the color of your thoughts. So ask yourself, what color is yours? Faded gray? Lifeless beige? Or are you ready to paint it blood red, courage, and steel black discipline? Here's the move. You don't negotiate with that voice. You don't reason with it. You replace it. When it says, "You're not ready," you answer, "No one starts ready." When it whispers, "You'll fail," you grin, "Then I'll fail forward." When it mutters, "They're better than you," you raise your chin, "Good. Let them watch me catch up." This isn't about fake affirmations. This isn't about whispering "I'm enough" while nothing changes. This is about rewiring the entire damn narration, killing the soft tone, replacing it with fire-breathing command. This is about becoming your own commander, not your own critic. Every time that voice returns, treat it like a trespasser. Slam the mental door, get aggressive, get surgical. Your actions are your weapons. Every forward step is a slap in its face. Every disciplined day is a bullet through its lies. Talk to yourself like a soldier, gritty, raw, but full of mission. Kill that voice. Drown it in effort. Choke it with structure. Burn it in truth. Bury it under reps, books, silence, solitude, hunger, and heat. Break it like a storm splits the sky without apology. Because that voice, it's not just your weakness, it's your cage. And you don't break cages by being polite, you break them by becoming undeniable. You don't need a reason, you don't need permission, you need movement. Action is your sword. Discipline is your shield. You're not a victim of your thoughts, you're the sculptor, the fire, the force. Now take the damn pen back and silence the narrator for good. Next up, habit 4. Stop asking for peace in a battlefield you won't leave. In the last section, we saw the truth. You can't ask for peace in a battlefield you refuse to leave. And every time you choose to remain in those mental war zones, you give up your crown. You trade your peace for noise, your clarity for chaos, your soul for shallow validation. Want to change your life? Then walk out of the room that's burning. You alive? Even if everyone you love is still sitting inside, want to stop overthinking? Starve it, cut off its oxygen, silence the noise that keeps it fed. Unfollow the faces that make you feel behind. Block the ones who drained your light and laughed when you dimmed. Walk away from conversations that replay like a torture track in your head. This isn't being cold. This is awakening. This is war. And in war, mercy to the enemy is cruelty to yourself. Detachment is not indifference. It's defense. When they call you selfish for choosing your sanity, smile. Because sanity is sacred. And no one gets to rent space in your mind.
Unless they bring peace with them, let them misunderstand you, let them gossip, let them blame, distort, twist. You're not living for applause.
You're not performing anymore. You've burned that stage to ash. You're not soft for walking away. You're not broken for guarding your energy. You are a fortress now. And peace is the moat. You're done begging to be heard in rooms full
of noise, done bleeding just to keep others warm. Let them freeze. You've had enough of handing out fire to people who only burned you. And when you finally walk, truly walk, away from those emotional battlefields, you'll taste something
you've never tasted before. Silence that doesn't feel empty, but holy. Solitude that doesn't feel lonely, but divine. Stillness that isn't boring, but alive. You'll sit with yourself and feel at home. And you'll realize peace was never a gift from the world. It was a kingdom waiting to be reclaimed. And now it's yours. Next up, habit number 5. You're not behind. You're being forged. In the last part, we said, you're not behind. You're being forged. Now let this truth settle in. Steel doesn't just survive fire, it's made by it. You're the kind of person who still stands tall when everything else has fallen. And that is power. You don't need the world's applause to move forward. Stop waiting for the validation you think you deserve. You're not a trend, not a blip on someone's screen. You're a force. And the world doesn't give credit to forces until they explode. Transformation happens in silence. It happens when no one's watching. When you're awake at 3 a.m. wrestling with demons. When you're sweating in the shadows, pushing forward as the world sleeps. It's during those nights when no one's cheering you on. When the only voice you hear is your own saying, keep going, while every part of you wants to quit. That's the test. That's where you find out what you're made of. And the truth, no one sees it coming. They won't hear you. They won't know what's being built. But when you rise, unscathed, unshaken, unstoppable, they'll have no choice but to witness the power you forged in silence. Your story's not over. This is where it gets real. Stop listening to that toxic voice that says you're behind. That's the lie. You're in the forge, and when your time comes, when the fire's work is done, you'll rise. Not as a shadow of someone else's success, but as the force they never saw coming. Keep pushing, keep sharpening, keep becoming. The world isn't ready for what's about to happen. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need all the answers. Perfection is the enemy of progress, but this is the shift, the turning point. No more letting your past or your doubt steer your life. No more letting chaos cloud your clarity. It's time to silence the voices that hold you back. Time to kill the negativity poisoning your peace. Today, you step into the full power of your mind. You train it like a warrior, focused, disciplined, unshakable. You become a stoic, anchored in the present, unaffected by storms of doubt and fear. You move forward, not just existing, but living with purpose, conviction, and unbreakable resilience. If this struck a chord deep in your gut, don't let it fade. Don't keep it to yourself. Like this
video. Comment below. Let the world know you're making this choice. You're taking back control. Share this with someone still lost in their mind, still shackled by fear.
And hit subscribe, because this isn't just talk. This is a call to arms, a movement to transform lives. And if you're ready, type this in the comments. I burned my old thoughts to the ground. Now my peace rises from the ashes. Feel that power. That's you reclaiming your future.